Welcome to 100 Gems. And today we with Dr. Robert Pyles, and we're going to be talking about purpose. The Big Six class today was off the chain. I learned a couple of things about me and my purpose.
Right.
And how you started off, Pastor, was just, it was profound. And the people in the room, I believe, they got it.
I hope they did.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, just touch on it a little bit, Pastor, so we could jump in here, man, and folks can start looking for their purpose.
Well, one of the things that is not something that's lost.
Right.
We talk about, and I understand the corner phrase of I'm looking for my purpose.
Right.
One of the things is that purpose has always been there. Purpose leaves a trail. And what I mean is that if you watch and look, and especially over your life, you'll find yourself around certain people. We talk about the tribe piece. And when I talked about purpose this morning, Rob, Dr. Miles Monroe talked about purpose, man. When I was in Wyoming, that was probably in the early 90s. Then Rick Warren came out with the book, Purpose Driven Life. And what I was saying was that even though Miles had talked about this for how many years, when Rick Warren come on, they basically saying the same thing. And a lot of folks thought that was something new, but Miles had been talking about purpose years and years before that. But Rick was able to tap into a different segment.
I agree.
Yeah, that was his purpose. Because what I'm trying to say is that everybody won't listen to you. They're not called to you. And when you talk about purpose, and I was real adamant about this, is that you have to know who you're called to.
Yeah.
Who you're called to, because I remind them it's just like the little girl or little boy that's standing at the window waiting on Pops to come home and he never comes. Mm-hmm. So if my purpose is for these people, and if I'm not delivering that to these people, and I'm trying to give it to these people, I think something wrong with them, and I think something wrong with me. But actually, it's not. Those not my people. When I say people, I mean that you can have something great. It would be like me trying to sell you suntan lotion. And I know that we could use it in certain environments, but if I'm looking to impact,
right?
Impact like Rick Warren impacted a little different than Miles did. So my purpose in life is not a job.
No, it's not.
It's not a job.
It's not.
And I look at how the people around us haven't been told. We're talking to me of eternity. One of two things we're taught. One is that before a son or daughter leaves home, you tell them, hey man, hey, look at daughter, I love you. They got to know they love you. When they leave, they have to know that you love them. They have to know that no matter what happens in life, you still love them. Secondly, is that they got to know that you're good at this. You're good at this. I'm a pastor, and a leader of leaders.
Yes, you are.
Pastor, and a leader of leaders. What that mean? It's the same thing at church, and it's the same thing at work. My work don't begin when I leave the church. I work in the church, right? My church, my ministry, my pastor don't start when I go inside the church.
Right.
It start when I leave the church.
Right.
So that they're so crossed up together that it's that I say it's the same. I ain't got to think about it. If you're a leader of leaders, you're a leader of leaders.
Yeah.
No matter what they're at, no matter what title they got, you're leading.
Yeah.
And you're making leaders. And leaders, I told them, I said, if you're not leading and pastoring of your own, then if I make that statement, even though you're following me, even though you're here at the Big Six early in the morning, you'll make me a lie. Why? Because you're not leading, right? Then I become a leader of followers.
Right.
We're not called to be leaders or followers. We're called to be leaders of leaders.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everything you got, you should be replicating it. You should be reproducing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I know something like you were saying when you told me that I needed a Steve in my life.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
You need a Rob.
Yeah, I need another Rob. Right.
Yeah, Rob. You make Rob. I mean,
exactly.
Cottrell. I said, Cottrell, we call him Wook. I said, you my Wook.
Mm-hmm.
I said, who's your Wook?
Right.
Right. You're Robert.
Right.
You think you're Robert? That's a compliment. I ain't not telling you I am.
Yeah, he had told me a story about one time he was doing some work, and y'all pulled up to the closing, and they said, "Hey, Rob, hey, Mr. Pyles," and they was talking to him.
Yeah. A lot of times he go ask me.
Yeah.
He go pay. They think he me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he go ask me. He signs different things, and sometimes he has to. That's strong representation. You know, so you hit it right. A lot of people think that he's Robert Pyles, and that's the way. So when they see him or me, they don't know who. It's just like when they saw him, they don't know who. The angel saw us,
right?
And they said the angel saw us and God. They got confused because we look just like him, and they're talking about characteristics. So in my teachings, and this is what I tell folks. This not Robert. I'm not testing on these folks. You're not a test market,
right?
I've done this. I walked this. I've been in situations where I wasn't replicating myself, or if I was doing some of it, it wasn't intentional. Intentional makes it more defined. It works quicker when I'm intentionally going somewhere, or just happen to show up there. I can't explain. I can't teach it if I'm not intentional and know what I'm doing. So what you got to have somebody one, and I really am just now really getting heavy on this part. When they say the pastor's hard, or the leader's hard, or they got to have your heart. That means that when they do something for what you're doing, if I came to Life Changing Ministry, or I'm working for your organization, right? I watch how you do it, right? And I want to do it as you do it,
right?
Or I want to do it as you do it better.
Come on with it now. Come on with it. I want you to do it better too.
What'd you say?
I want you to do it better too. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that means that I'm not exposing your weaknesses. I'm helping you lift up in that area. And a lot of times people won't expose a leader's. You're not called to expose the leader's weakness. You're called to help lift them up.
Come on with it. Come on with it.
Oh man, y'all ain't got this. We don't. Maybe God have called you to help me with that. Maybe God have called you to pick that part up. You don't know anything about this. No, I don't. I'm learning, but God sent you. If I knew that, then I wouldn't need you.
Say no more.
So that's a part about purpose. Purpose is not a job. What I'm trying to say. When I was at Long John Silver's, and it was about 91, 90, around 90, I was working. I worked part time. It was probably about 90, and a friend of mine named J.R. Green. He came out. He was eating, and he was one of the sergeants at the time, one of the NCOs that I worked with, and he said, he called me Bob. He looked at me, but he said, Bob. He was watching me in the restaurant, and I was at the time I was a manager, and he said, "This your call." Now I wasn't saved and ain't been reading no books for miles or none of that. He said, "This your call." I'm like, he said, "Man, this your call, like my purpose."
Right.
And he wasn't saying that Long John Silver's restaurant, fast food was my calling. He was saying service.
Yes.
And everywhere I go, I'm a server.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When I go I go visit the churches, and I will be visiting and preaching or something. I see who is your right hand? Who's the deacon? Who's the best deacon? Who's the best right hand? Who's the elder? Whatever. And they said, elder such. I said, man, you'll have a problem if I came over here. Why? Because I know how to serve. I know how to serve.
Yeah. Speaking of the purpose-driven life by Rick Warren, I was in the penitentiary.
Reading that,
reading that, and while doing that, and I was in the transformation mode.
Okay,
you know what I mean. And before you know it, all the men in the penitentiary was looking at me for direction and instruction.
Come on.
One of the things I used to do was teach some of the boys on how to respond and deal with the correctional officers.
Come on, yeah.
Because
Joseph.
come on with it. Now, if you do this like this here, you ain't gonna have no problem. But as soon as you raise your voice, especially with this officer, this is what's gonna happen. One of the things, they didn't know if I was a gang leader, a gang member, or what, but they always came to me when there was a project need to be done. Mr. Harris, could you get the guys together so that we could complete this project?
So what you're telling me, you have one of your gifts and one of your talents is that you have the ability to rally the troops.
Oh yeah. Right? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Especially when something needs to get done.
In the New Testament, they would say they need something. They say, go get Timothy.
Yeah.
He rallied them. Timothy was good at rallying the people up. Some people are not that good at rallying folks up. We had an event with the men's other Saturday morning, about 25 men with the breakfast, and I say Steve knows how to rally them up. Some people know how to rally up. They have their relationship. You know, some people tell you, man, you're gonna be there. You be like, I ain't going. But some people you say, man, I'm going. Why? Because he said it. Yeah. Those are all things about when I get ready to do something, I have to look and see who's the right person for the job. Right? When I mean that, who's called to that? The best thing that we can do in our hiring process at McDonald's on front counter is not have a great training program to teach them how to smile, how to be nice, right? Is to have folks that smile and nice already.
Right. And you go be able to tell which ones.
Yeah, in the interview. That's why they call it the interview.
Yeah.
See, things get so bad, you hiring that a pirate with a parrot on the shoulder, one eye. All right? I mean, that's what you got. That's what you walk up to it. I know some of y'all feel that way in McDonald's, how they get treated. But truthfully, you know, we're striving to do that, Rob. I need help because God gives you so much, and He'll never gonna give you enough that you don't need Him or help of other folks. There's no long ranges in this.
It ain't no long range.
Ain't nobody say, I did it, or I did it my way as a song. But to do it, you're gonna need help from others. You're gonna need support from others. That's a rock. There was a turtle. They said, man rode by the fence. He saw a turtle up on the fence post. He said, turtle didn't get that by itself. Somebody put him there. That's why you have to know that when you start talking about purpose, Rob, the question, and I talked and I let him ask the question. And the one question that got asked is the number one question that people have. It used to be more prevalent, pronounced, because when Rick Rowan and Purpose Driven Life, they would say, man, I don't know my purpose. Now I don't hear them coming in. They're saying it, but they're not saying that word. You know, what to do, direction.
Right.
The lady said, how do you know, Pastor Dr. Pyles, how do you know what your purpose is? He said, how will I know? And then we had several comments. You was there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, you do this, you do this. I said, hold on. So I got the book, and I want everybody. This is the book. This is what I wrote my doctoral thesis on, and it say the power of understanding personality in real estate. I mean leadership. I'm sorry, in leadership. What that book was written on, my doctoral thesis, I had put leadership under there, but it works everywhere. If you can lead here, you can lead there.
I agree.
Leadership is not just in one area. It's everywhere. Once you get it, you got it. So I told him, I said, it's air, it's fire.
Oh yeah, I liked it.
It's water and it's earth. Those are the four basics ingredients that we had. They're like the four pans. Then you got folks. I use the example and analogy. I say, when Saul is fired, he's relieved of his command by God. The anointing is shifted. And God got mad at Saul. He didn't do this, that. God don't. He changes not. He's not going to do something. Whenever God does something, it's calculated because He knows all.
Yeah.
So if you watch what He did, see, let me use an example. When I would fire folks at McDonald's or release them or whatever, it was when I got mad. I got mad at them. So I would think God got mad at Saul and relieved him of his command, which He didn't because He don't get mad. So I say, so the reason Saul was relieved is because he didn't have what it takes for that season.
Right.
What's coming around the hill, Mark? What's on the hill over there? Right. What's on the hill?
Yeah.
Who's yelling on the hill? Goliath.
He got a big fight ahead.
The nation of Israel.
He didn't have it in him.
He didn't have it in him. And God knew that.
Right.
Because he didn't kill the king.
Right.
He didn't do this, the chief. He didn't kill the animals or the king. So he knew that they say that if you listen to the songs that the children and people listening to, it tells you the condition of the land. Mm. The lady, the scripture said that the ladies were singing. Saul killed how many? 1,000.
Right.
They said, but David killed 10,000.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, 1,000, 10,000. They're telling you David is a killer.
A real killer.
Dave said, what I'm gonna get? David said, what I'm gonna get is you gonna get the king's daughter. You gonna get that. You have your family gonna have no more taxes, all that. He said, where you at? You ain't got no. He said, I do it. Listen, you in purpose.
Yeah.
You kill a giant with a slingshot and some rocks.
Ain't that something?
When you in purpose, you guessed the right answer.
Yeah. And he didn't know he was in purpose at that time either.
He probably didn't call it purpose back then, right?
Right.
But he know God was with him.
Oh, he knew, yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Yeah. How you know God with him? I've been tried.
Why? Tested. I've been tested and tried.
When that bear came up.
Come on with it. Yeah.
When that bear came up.
There you go.
When that lion came up to mess with the sheep.
He let him have it.
Young lion, he killed him.
Come on.
This is the same example.
Right.
This giant here, this bear here, this lion here is a foreshadow of me being on the backside protecting God, my father who was Jesse, my father. I got a greater father.
Come on with it, Pastor. You ain't never lied.
Come on now. So purpose gives you resources. Purpose gives you power. Man, service. I worked for McDonald's, school person manager, about 4 years, right? Out of 4 years, I probably had two, maybe 3 complaints. I say 3 just to stretch it. In 3-4 years, they ever go to make it to the corporate office. The corporate, my office. Not McDonald's, but to go.
Right.
2 or 3. The second one I got, I know I took care of that lady. Some people you just can't make happen. You just can't do this, right? And I told my supervisor one time, I said, man, on her, I say, man, I did everything I'm supposed to do. And he said, well, you didn't handle that complaint. I said, I did handle it. He said, when it got to me, if you handled it. That was a challenge there.
Ooh-wee. Hey.
He said,
I heard something like that before too. Yeah, from Ernie Von Slayton.
Did it? Who do you know?
Yeah, who do you know? He let me have it.
Did it?
Yeah.
And that's kind of challenging, man. That I think it's more so too, Rob, of that. Man, I know what's in you.
Yeah.
I know what's in you. I know you got it. And when you in purpose, man, like I tell people, it can't be so, man, your purpose is to be a preacher and a pastor. That's not my purpose. I said, what if they don't let me pastor?
Right.
Then I don't have no purpose. What if I'm in prison? Joseph is in prison. He's a slave, servant, domestic worker to the prison, to the palace. Purpose is that he knew how to serve.
Yes, sir.
He knew how to lead. He knew how to relationship. When the warden don't have to worry about nothing in the prison, you just talking about the prison. Yeah. That means that the guards, the prisoners, the contractors, everything in that he had a relationship with. You got to have a special relationship to deal with the Crips, the Bloods.
You do.
The Muslims, the Christians, the Arius Nation.
Come on with it.
Come on, talk to me, bitch. Come on. And you got the warden, and you got the guard, and you got the guard that think he God, and then you got all that, and he got it all under control.
Yep.
That's a gift. Yep. Everybody can't do that.
No, they can't, Pastor. No, they can't. No, they can't. Okay. And to go along with it too is some of the training. The grooming that came with it.
Yeah,
even right now, I know I'm still being groomed and tried. However, because of the some of the past,
You're ready for it.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't too much going to be coming my way where I ain't going to be able to stand it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know what setbacks is. As a matter of fact, sometimes, you know, I welcome a setback because I know I get to go back to the drawing board. You know,
I'm going to tell you, man, I don't welcome setbacks. They're going to come in the way.
They gonna come.
No matter if I put the welcome mat out, they gonna come. But I ain't putting no mat out for it. I'm gonna tell you that. That's just I'm gonna tell you the truth. I know they gonna come, but I ain't putting no mat out for you. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna open the door up.
Right,
you better open the door yourself. You know what I mean? I remember we was getting they were robbing. The guy came in and robbed one of my stores. Had no mask on. I don't know what he was on or whatever. He walked up in there and the guy thought he was an employee coming to get his check. It was Friday. And he told me, he said, big dude, big old dude, Taekwon. Taekwon, that's his name was. And the dude came in there and he said, we're going to rob him. And he opened the safe up and the dude said, get the money out. He said, you robbing us. He said something else, but you robbing us. You get your own money. You ain't gonna rob me and I get you ain't gonna come in and set me back. I with the welcome man out. I ain't make see sometimes we gotta feel like I gotta make you coffee. I ain't cooking you breakfast. You might come in and hey, I remember one time too, I was young, Mr. Haynes used to appliance store and he would rent the washing machines and all that. And you know, I'm wired that way. He came to repo our washing machine. Yeah. And I was trying to help him. My mama said, don't help him put that thing in the car. On the truck. Oh, man. He get it himself. So you have to know, man, I ain't got to help you.
Right.
The setback's going to happen. Right? You know, man, I ain't going to be out there throwing water in the air just because it's raining.
I can follow.
So we're going to change that.
I can follow something.
That.
I can follow something.
If it come, I heard you say, man, through my trust in God.
Yeah.
Knowing he gonna make it.
Yeah.
Because it's folks that been into the experiences that you've been through, they didn't come up to that conclusion.
No.
I'm gonna be all right. That's what you say. I'm gonna be all right, man. I know it gives me a chance. Even if it's a setback, it gives me an opportunity. I look at the problem as an opportunity.
And it's also a learning.
I take it. Yep. Learning. Yep.
It's a learning situation, you know. And I'm always looking. I know that is a saying. You know, either it's going to be a blessing or a lesson.
A blessing or a lesson.
A blessing or a lesson. It's going to be one of the two.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at it like if you catch the lesson, you
become a blessing.
Yeah. There we go. And it rides. You know, it rides and being in or walking in your purpose. I think too, Pastor. We was talking about serving people. If you serve the folks right, you ain't got to worry about that.
It's a circle.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm serving.
Yes.
There should be something in the circle. It's a circle.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Yeah. You can't sow without reaping.
Right.
You can't live without dying.
Come on now.
You're gonna sow back.
Yeah.
No matter what. I'm give all this life. You know. And one of the things that we talk about in the purpose piece, because I want to get to this piece, because I want the people to understand. God has wired you a certain way. Which I tell you about the 4 elements.
Yeah.
And it's easy for you to remember, instead of trying to remember choleric, sanguine, and all that. I told him, our earth child is the hardest child to raise. How I know you're an earth child? An earth child remembers stuff. They bury stuff.
Yeah.
An earth child, see, sometimes people think that the real funny guy, the sanguine, outgoing, makes the best comedians. They don't. The best comedians are earth people. Like, you see what happened to Robin, that killed herself.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. William. Robert Williams. Yeah.
Because people think the whole joke. Because outside, let me tell you how you know a good comedian. A good comedian sees stuff as something you don't see. You say, you're right. They'll look at something, they're detailed. They can look at something, and they'll talk about your limp.
Yeah.
They'll talk about someone you that everybody, you're right, Rob, do that. You know, like Eddie Murphy talks about his family.
Why you had to bring up the limp, though?
You don't limp, man. That's that foot. That's that foot. So, but you know what? You thought, and we can remember that thing, you know. So, an earth person, don't forget. So I have to be careful. If I got a child, I can't say something to my child that's an earth person like, man, I wish I never had you. They could be 4 or 5 years old and they always gonna remember.
They gonna remember it.
So when you sit and talk to them, I remember when you. I don't remember none of that stuff, man. Listen, man, I don't remember nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not an earth person, you know. So I had to learn to be more detailed. I had to learn to be more. Think about it. If a hand didn't always be that, you know, sometimes the thumb over here, all that. When God makes that man an earth person, when He designs, it's detail. A leaf. You know, the leaf ain't in the ground. The leaf is on the tree.
Right.
The roots are in the ground. The roots don't grow up on top of the tree. So it's detailed. So you have to know an earth person, the hardest person to the hardest child to raise. When you're looking at a detailed person, they gonna ask questions.
Yeah.
See, and
a bunch of them too.
They're a bunch. They go, why? Why would you have? See, back then we were talking. You have no question. We never asked why. So an earth person is frustrated because why? They want the details. So when I go into a meeting, when I was the president of the co-op, I look. That's an earth person. He wants the detail. Deion Kong wants to. He knows what a nugget weighs. He know what one nugget costs. He know when you talk about food costs. He knows. He done looked at the numbers, all that, right? So when I go to the meetings, I got all the background numbers. Mm-hmm. Now, to me, quote unquote, I don't think first numbers and all that. I look at it. I think you're gonna work. I'm excited. I charge the hill. I'm like wind. I'm like the wind. Mm-hmm. I flow. I'm butterfly. Right. So that I know how I think, but I also know I need these other talents at the table because I charge the hill, all gung ho with the bugle and the flag and the drum and they got a machine gun on top of the hill, Rob, and killed half of the guys.
Right.
A detail guy said, and so what I did, and we know this is what I'm trying to tell you. We be doing stuff in church. I be doing things, and the young lady who's a good friend, Erica, she's deep. She's the earth. And she'll be asking questions. And a person will get mad because it seems like she's against what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. Every time I bring something to the table, man, they asking all these questions and this, that, how we going to get there? You know, how long it's going to take? You know, where did this happen? So what I told her, I said, look at Erica. I said, at your job, a lot of times you got some people think you be against their project. She said, yeah, they do. I say, it's cause how you wire. She, what you mean? I say, you're a detail person. That's why they need you at the table. So that the king don't do something that's gonna cost him his life or his job. Mm-hmm. Or gonna cost the economy to crash. You detail, that's your gift. But you gotta pose it to let me know you with me. Yeah. So what I told her to say is that you got a project going on, Rob. Instead of me saying, oh, what about this? What about that? I said, hey, man, Rob, I like that idea, but did you think about that? Right. Let me work with you, Rob, and let's look at the numbers on that so that when you get there, you know, it ain't a nightmare, so your dream come true. So that's what the earth person does. They detail. Then you got the person who's Steve Killian was my guy. He's a gambler. He going bam. We ain't got to have all the numbers. We almost alike. But Steve, we need the numbers, Doc. We put things in place. We're not gonna come up with something. Give me time to do the research first. Let's table that. Right. I think it's a good idea, but let's look at all the numbers so that if I bring to the table, I know this one gonna be asking all the questions. We don't have them now. So we don't do nothing sporadically in the meeting, spontaneously, because it might not be. We don't have all the numbers. So if I want to trick a person like what they do to me is that they make it look all good, sound good, right? Yeah. So I run there and get buzzed up. Mm-hmm. So I started telling the agency, the different ones that was on the board, the team and the marketing and all that. I would say, give me the numbers, right? So I get the numbers and I want to send it out to different ones. So when they come to the meeting, they're not cold. Right. They got we send out, so we come to the meeting, it could be fruitful. Come to find out, they were getting mad when I asked for them numbers. Why you need all them numbers? I said, wait a minute, man. I told one dude, Greg Fields. I said, Greg, you gonna stop this. like you got a problem, give me the number. I said, I should have to ask you for this every time.
Right.
Automatically, you know they're going to ask for that. I say, so it seems to me that you have a whole team in Dallas that go through all this. You get all that, but you're going to want to give me just the fluff.
Right.
Don't do that anymore.
Right.
And if your conduct keep being the same, we're going to have some problems. I did. Mm-hmm. We had to remove him off he was the lead guy on the servicing account because he didn't understand what that meant.
Right.
Or he did understand what it meant, you know, because they don't give you all details. So you need somebody detailed with you so that the details are brought out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then you got the one that flow.
I got my guy Mal. Listen here, he's the fella gonna tell you how much the chicken nugget costs. You know how it's made, what it's made with. But I love it. I love it because you learn
to love it, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like it, but I love it. I love it.
Why? Because we're gonna be informed.
Exactly. And we looking at how we go. And one of the things too, my focus always is on how to better serve the people that I'm dealing with, that God has put in my life. You know what I mean? That included you. When I first met you, I'm like, man, okay, I see this joker got everything under the sun. How can I be an assistant in his life? But once I started paying attention, I said, oh, okay, yeah, I got him.
Yeah. I can solve that problem for you.
Yeah, I got him.
Solving problem.
Yes. You was talking about that, solving problems. That's
you get paid to solve problems.
Man, come on with it.
The bigger the problem,
come on now.
You solve.
Yeah, and then you actually can demand your pay then. Mm-hmm. You know, I know when I was a real estate agent or a mortgage broker when I first started off, and I was getting 25%. But when I started popping them loans off, and I went back in there to negotiate, like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna need 80%.
Because they know that 20% is going to be more than the 75% with an average person.
Yep, no doubt about it. And it was about the value.
The value, the weight.
Come on with it.
Purpose give you weight.
Oh,
if you're out of purpose, you ain't got. You may weigh something, but you're never gonna weigh what you weigh if you're in purpose. Right? Mm-hmm. We call them heavy hitters. Yeah. And what that means, Rob, is that you could have been doing something else.
Oh yeah.
But if it wasn't something dealing with like servicing, you like if it's you said in real estate, mortgages, cars. Right,
all at the same time.
At the same time. So that's what you
professionally.
So you're not. Your purpose ain't a car salesman.
No.
Your purpose ain't to be a house, a real estate agent. Your purpose is to serve people.
Yes, it is.
I serve them what they need. They need houses.
Yep.
It's a timing that they need. They need remodifications now.
Yep.
I was doing regular mortgages.
Yep.
Popping them off. You say. Then when the market hit crazy. You start popping them off when you start doing them modifications.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think see, you were like the sons of Issachar.
Yeah.
He said the sons of Issachar in the Bible, they knew the hand. They could look at the sign.
Mm-hmm.
They could look at the signs, look at the time, and shift.
Yeah.
Some people can't shift.
Yeah.
They still trying. Some people still trying to do mortgage, waiting on approval, and it never came.
I'm talking about, listen, Pastor, literally, I was in the mortgage office at the time when I had started doing the modifications. And it was the other brokers. And they in there, and they seen a flood. I kept a flood of folks coming through. And they finally came in and said, Mr. Harris, what is you doing? What is going on? I said, oh, this is what's going on right here. And I was able to lay it out for them. And before you know it, they started doing them too. You know, but they made it all complicated and this, that, and that. Like, man, it ain't that serious. What's serious is helping these folks get out these old crazy mortgages that we put them in.
Right.
You know, but that was being able to, like you said, make that shift.
Yeah, times.
You know, I peeped it. And I seen a lot of my colleagues at that time, man, just fall to the wayside and some going to depression, You know, a couple
suicide.
Yeah, for real.
I know some had suicide.
You know, because I remember walking into the office, I got about maybe 20, 30 loans in the pipeline, and the banks was telling me, I'll call and say, oh, no, we ain't doing nothing. I said, wait a minute. You know, we at the closing. Yeah. What you mean you ain't doing nothing?
Purpose don't shift. You just stay in it.
Yeah.
Keep using, oh, man, the assignment changed. Mm-hmm. Purpose same.
Yeah.
Servicing the people. And that's why I said, as long as you're serving people, they say, well, how you know you're in purpose? Everybody serves.
Right.
Purpose is a service. What service do I provide? I'm Earth, you're going to want me on your team. Why? Because I look at details, man, I look at stuff. I'm gonna look at the law, and I'm gonna find the loopholes in the law. I'm gonna detail person. I'm gonna look at the contract when they're trying to hire something in. You don't want a single, right? Looking over the contract. They fly with it. Right? I want an Earth person going through that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So my lawyer, I have a couple of lawyers. I have one lawyer. He's a construction lawyer. Drive you crazy. Man, it seems like he's trying to shut the deal down. He reading the contract like, you know, when you buy and sell McDonald's, do different things. It's a standard, almost a standard contract, right? So we go through stuff, but I learned to listen to him. Why? Because what I thought was minute, man, it could have bit me, or did bite me sometime at the end.
Right. And Pastor, I'm learning some of that too. Because I'm one of them, you know, I'm gone. I'm gone. Once I got it, I'm gone. But now, because of some of those setbacks,
Big six.
You know, I got to look at the details and who I'm working with, just like with the Department of Juvenile Corrections, dealing with them. There's certain things that they require. You can't have anybody around the boys.
Right.
It's just, you know, that's the law. It's the law, you know, and I can understand that now. Before, you know, I'm looking at it, man, you need a street dude, you know, that's going to understand some different things. But when this street dude got X amount, got this and that going on in their background or, you know, no.
Well, see, what it is that you're liable.
Yeah.
And the risk the state don't want to take. Now, if they wasn't a product of the state. See, that's what I love about understanding. Okay, understanding don't mean I got to agree with you. The reason people don't want to understand and listen sometimes because they don't want to. They feel that if I understand it, I got to agree. No, I don't.
Right.
If I understand it, the more I understand it, the better I can assist you, aid you, and help you.
There we go.
How you gonna help somebody you don't want to understand?
That's you have to, and that comes from listening. Paying attention.
Yeah.
You know,
listening.
And one thing that you also have said too, Pastor, about folks know if you care about what they talking about. Yeah. You know, and they'll know that when you genuinely care about them. You know, that's a huge piece.
You can't care about me and do certain things.
Yeah.
Love. I talked about it Sunday. I'm be talking about it. You can't love me and not keep my commandments. That's what he said. You can't love me and say it to me that way. Even if it need to be said, love should be a guide how I say it.
Yeah.
Right. If you love me, it don't edify, you probably won't even say it. Because something. What if God told us everything?
Oh, Lord, man.
First of all, we be because she really, I know you, Rob, right? Because I watch people. But I really don't know you. Your wife, Bree, know you, but she really don't know you.
Right.
Oh, people say, man, I can't believe you done that. Yeah. Because we don't really, nobody knows us but him.
Yeah. And he knows us, too.
And think about it. I mean, we talking about forgiveness. He talks about, I'll forgive you if you confess with your mouth. You believe that he'll forgive our sins. You were there when Jeffrey Dahmer was killing people.
Yeah.
God was there.
Yeah.
He saw the gruesome and the cutting up, dismembering.
Yeah.
And you gonna tell me in the word? That's the kind of stuff, man, you gotta look at. But in purpose, man, some people ain't called to certain things.
Yeah.
They're not. Everybody ain't called to work at McDonald's. Everybody ain't called to work at the White House. Everybody ain't called to be a politician. Man, to be a politician, I think they should make a lot more money.
Yeah. Hey, but we got that one fella that lied about everything.
Who?
The politician.
Man, I ain't gonna say that. Shoot.
I can't.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. I don't even know what his name is now.
He twisted up.
Yeah.
But you know what? Some of them things they say were lying. He was telling the truth. Fake news. And then you find out they all doing it.
They all doing it. Right.
You tell me certain things. You have to know how to decipher. Yeah. I don't shut him down. I listen. Well, you know they were doing it too. He said, man, everybody do this. Everybody don't do it, you did it. Everybody took classified home.
Everybody.
You know, I like to know, listen, man, I couldn't keep a library book. They was on me when I grew up. A library book.
A library.
Listen, and they got class, they shouldn't be talking about who had it, who gave it to them.
Right.
Who gave that? Who is giving out this classified information and not tracking it?
Come on. Who gave it to him? Right.
I just don't know. Who signed it out?
Yeah. It's classified. And everybody got it.
If Avis followed that rule, they wouldn't have no car.
Right.
They ain't bring the car back. Who gave it to him? We didn't even know it was missing.
There we go. We didn't even know
it was missing.
That's the part of the game, right? Slow. Yeah.
I look at it, I be like, wait a minute, yeah, they did that. But how can a major Ollie Norton have that kind of power? Well, he did all this. He's just a major. Something going on. Majors don't have that kind of power. Major, general, is a major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, general.
Right.
Major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, and general.
And amazing.
He's so funny. And the mate, now y'all better stop playing. He a fall goat. He a scapegoat by rabbits.
Right.
Yeah. And that's a part of what I'm trying to say. Sometimes we just get blinded. I don't want to be ignorant. I want to understand. But some things, my purpose ain't to fix the White House right now. My purpose ain't to fix City Hall. I just need to get my permits. I need to get these permits down there right now.
Right.
I ain't down here to fix City Hall.
Right.
I'm here to run McDonald's. I ain't here to fix every problem because people try to give you every problem.
Especially when they know you are a good servant.
Yeah, a good servant. I ain't called to serve everybody.
Yeah. When they know the man, that's why we had started up our little circle.
Yeah. Think about it now. Here's Joseph over at not Potiphar's house. He at the neighbor's house doing the work. He was supposed to run the Potiphar's house. He's good. His job is to take care of this house.
Right.
You follow me? He ain't that worried about what's going on in the neighbor's house. How you gonna cut the neighbor's grass and your grass ain't cut?
That's something there, ain't it?
That's something there, boy. So
and we got a lot of them.
Got a lot of them.
We got a lot of them.
I was listening to what's her name? Dee Dee in the morning. Yesterday morning, I tell you shit. They were talking about the lady said to her sister, we're going to cut it. Her sister has 2 kids and they 10, whatever the age was. She leaves them at home by themselves. They go out, they're doing this here, they're not taking care of them, blah, blah. And she can't take care of them. Should she call the
CPS?
CPS?
Something like that, right.
And we had a lot of comments, man. And I'm saying is that, I'm not saying it totally, but sometimes you got to mind your own business.
A lot of times you got to mind your own business.
That's it. You ain't got time to do it, which I understand, right? Because of circumstances. Sometimes I can't do it. I can't. I don't have the room. I don't have the money. I don't have the capacity. I don't have the patience. I'm like all this here. Sometimes you got to mind your own business.
Yes, sir.
Because you call CPS and take them through all that. Like the one lady said, man, CPS ain't like they nice.
No, they
tear you up.
Yeah, they rough.
If you get in the system, it's hard to get out.
Yeah, they rough.
They rough. And I get it because they have to be because of the lies and people, right? I get why they have to be that, right? So my thing is that you need the Holy Ghost on that one. It ain't going to be no radio call land.
Right.
Dee Dee ain't anointed. Dee Dee is a talk show personality. And you got folk calling in.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you better get the Holy Ghost. No, because you know what? Ain't no right answer on that table. Watch out, Pastor. See, that's the situation, man, you be in. You have to be transparent. There's no right answer on the table.
Right.
That's when you know you're in purpose. You come out. Say, man, I know the divorce. It has to be signs and wonders.
Signs and wonders.
He in purpose. Yeah. Because if anybody can do it, you're not in purpose.
Yeah. I know looking at going into the aorta and the mental health and different things of that nature, some of the logistics that went in, I didn't have a clue. Mm-hmm. But I knew all about dope fiends and the streets drugs, and hurting people. Yeah, you know, I had all that
at the heart.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I've been successful at it.
Yeah, because you listen.
Yeah, it's just and that's the part, Pastor, where it comes in.
You're in purpose.
And the development.
Yeah, purpose.
You know what I mean?
Development.
Oh man, and I love it.
You know, man, I'm not there. I told him the bad part about it, man, we on that circle. It's a circle. It comes around. We constantly in the circle. We're developing and motivating. We're doing this. The circle never ends. It's a circle. We've been doing the Big Six, man, probably 12 years, and then some looked like 15 years. We talking about the same thing day one.
Come on.
The day we talking about the same thing. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to get there. It's a circle. Mm-hmm. But I'll get better.
Yeah.
Every day you got to get better, man.
Every day.
You know,
and intentionally.
I may not be able to dunk again. Yeah. But where I was at, I'm going to get better. I'm going to walk better. I'm not going to, my limp. All that. It's going, and I'll be determined to get better.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That's another episode of 100 Gems, baby. And we need to tune in. Pretty soon we're gonna have some things going on the radio, and you're gonna be able to hear all these different episodes. It's gonna be Joy 1340 and FM 98.7. So tune in, baby. Peace.